Welcome back to Friday Night Sports Extra. Some of our local teams were fighting for a playoff spot tonight, while others were playing for pride, hoping to end the season on a high note. Jordan Smith was out in the action tonight. We'll send it over to him in the studio. Jordan, how were your games tonight?
They were wet. It was a beautiful night for football tonight at One Spokane Stadium. The Ferris Saxons 0-8 headed into tonight, hoping to send their seniors out on a high note. Ridgeline not about to roll over and make it easy on him. Early, after a slow start, Landon Garner feeds Camden Haddad on the delayed handoff, and Haddad slips by the Saxon secondary, and he's off to the races. 7-0 Ridgeline. And later on, check this out. Braxton Dickerhoof steps into a 46-yard field goal attempt, and he drills it. That was good from another 10 yards back. And good news, Falcons fans, he's only a sophomore. You'll be seeing more of that in the future. Now, meanwhile, the Saxons trying to respond. They feed the speedster, Kyrell Smith, on the end around, but that's stuffed out by the Falcons defense. And then, as they say, when it rains, it pours. QB Landon Garner floats a beauty to Braden Allen in the back corner of the end zone, right on the money. And just to be safe, they go for two here. Garner takes the direct snap, and he's going to win the race to the corner of the end zone. It was all Ridgeline all night. The Falcons take care of business against the Saxons 46-7. Now, talking about football weather, how about these balmy game time conditions out in Cheney? The field conditions were so bad they canceled the halftime performance for the band. And no amount of OxyClean is going to save those white uniforms from Mount Spokane, which means offense was tough to come by tonight. In the second quarter here, Max Riggs sends this chip shot through the uprights to give the Blackhawks a 3-0 lead. And he's hyped. Of course he's hyped, because field goals are hard enough when the field isn't an ice rink. And that's actually the only offense we'd see until the fourth quarter. Late into the third, Mount Spokane's kicker, Hunter McKee, is going to try to tie it up here. But look at that mud put he's working with there. The snap is good. Hold is great. The kick, no good. The drama continues in Cheney. Now, later on in the fourth quarter, the Wildcats able to break through. Their running back broke about 9 tackles on his way into the end zone. Mount Spokane survives an old school classic, 7-3. There's nothing quite like football in the mud. Sydney.
Jordan, thanks. I liked that. That was entertaining. All right, Greater Spokane League gets 3 bids into the round of 32 this year for the 2A playoffs, and Rogers and Deer Park are fighting for that final spot. Rogers, Gavin Bodeman takes the handoff and breaks the tackle for that nice run there. Rogers gets the score, and it's Rogers running it again. Their running back gets out of trouble for a huge gain for the Pirates. And while the rain only gets worse, while Rogers may only get better. In the rain, Fritz Ryer for Rogers throws it deep to Jerry Allen for yet another touchdown. Rogers takes this one away with a final score of 26-7, and they'll take the final playoff spot for the 2A GSL group and are headed back to the playoffs for the second year in a row. Meade is taking on Shadle Park tonight for the Highlanders senior night at One Spokane Stadium. Third quarter, Meade throwing deep to from quarterback Dylan Lehman, connects with Matthew McShane. A big connection there, taking right to 4th and goal. Jalen Lehman again gonna throw a dart to Matthew McShane. That was his go-to guy tonight if it wasn't his entire season this year. And that's another one for the score. Shadle Park trying to mount a comeback, but Caden Hooper stood up by Garrett Miller and taken back for the tackle. Shadle's playoff hopes are down the drain after tonight. Final score from One Spokane Stadium, 28-20. The Panthers finished with just 1 loss on the season, are likely to secure a home game for their first round playoff game. All right, coming up after the break, the top play of the night. Plus, we're checking in on the rest of our Idaho teams in the postseason. Stick with us. Live. All right, welcome back. I've got Jack back with me, and it's just in time for the top play of the night. The top play goes to Ridgeline kicker Braxton Dickerhoof. We have to give the kickers some love once in a while. He drills a 46-yard field goal. No tee, by the way. That kick would have been good easily from the 50. Take one more look at it. It's a bomb. Truly, Jack, look at that. You don't see that very often.
Kickers are the best. We love special teams, guys.
Hey, the sophomore makes it look pretty easy in the rain, and Ridgeline was able to take that one away at One Spokane Stadium tonight.
Now, we did see a heartbreaker tonight in Moscow as the Bears come up short 24-16 to the American Falls Beavers in an upset. Now, Moscow ends their year at an impressive 7-2, starting the season at a perfect 5-0 before losing to Lakeland in late September. They end up breaking the streak right there. They move on to 2A. The Prairie Pirates couldn't recover from a 22-0 first quarter deficit, outscoring the Grace Grizzlies 30-14 in the second half. You see the final score, not that much different, but still comeback falling short, 10-point deficit in the final. Now last up for our 2A games, the Potlatch Loggers suffer their 5th straight loss. All of those 5 allowing at least 46 points. They actually started the year 5-0, but tonight's 54-0 drubbing at the paws of the Kendrick Tigers, no different. It looks like they're out early. It's a little bit.
All right, welcome back. The Eastern Washington Eagles are hosting Montana State on the red turf tomorrow. It's not going to be an easy task. The Bobcats are ranked 1st in the Big Sky Conference and 2nd in FCS, along with their undefeated record. They also haven't had a game where they've scored less than 30 points. So this season, Eastern's defense has to step up tomorrow if they have a chance at spoiling the Bobcats' party. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock in Cheney. Jack, we're both going to be at that game tomorrow, so it'll be your first time at Eastern Washington, but you were able to check out the Kibbe Dome last weekend as well, of course, where Eastern Washington and the Vandals were playing. How was that? What else are you excited for?
I can't say enough positive things about the Kibbe Dome. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to go there, and that's not a joke. I love the Kibbe Dome. But it's even better to see all the other stadiums coming here, and seeing the red turf is still just remarkable to me.
Oh, totally.
The whole thing bright red. I mean, that's just amazing.
Well, Jordan calls the Kibbe Dome the 8th wonder of the world, so
that's a good.
I was going to say you might agree with that.
That's excellent.
Okay, so you're here in the Inland Northwest. Obviously, all of our local teams already have your heart, but where do your true sports loyalties lie? What are a couple of your favorite teams?
Well, as an ATL native, I must say the Falcons, Hawks, Braves, all those teams. But they've given me plenty of pain over the last few years. Falcons, maybe not so much. But everything TCU, Syracuse, soft spot for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. That's my childhood team growing up. Lots of ups and downs with them. But not as great this season. But I'm excited. Looking at Wazoo, 7-1. I'm feeling really good about it. So I'm like, how about that? We'll focus more on them. That makes me feel a little better.
Oh, your first trip to Pullman is truly going to be something else. I'm excited for you.
Yes.
We're going to drive you through Colfax, and you're just going to see all these little towns. It's going to be so great. You might be used to kind of the smaller towns. I know you covered a lot of those high school teams also in North Dakota. So it's a good same change of pace a little bit. Change some pace. Get
happy to see the hills, the trees, and everything. I love the flat open spaces, but I like the trees a little more.
I love it. Well, I'm excited to show you around. That's all we have tonight on Friday Night Sports Extra. Catch us tomorrow on a special edition of 4 News Now after the game around 8.